excited are you for the Tank Davis fight this weekend?
Well, I believe that it'll be a great fight. And the Dominicans is on a roll. You know, some win, some lose, but it's an unbelievable fight.
Do you think that Hector is being a little bit overlooked by the public?
Definitely. I believe that if he doesn't win the fight, he will go the distance.
Think so?
That's correct.
So, do you think that he's Tank's toughest test at the moment? Well, throughout his career.
I believe the toughest one it was Isaac Cruz. However, he was hurt and he fought Javanta with the problems in the right hands, I believe. So now he's healthy, and definitely Garcia is healthy. So it'll be a great fight. I'm looking forward for that.
What does Hector possess that can make things difficult for Tank?
He have over 400 amateur fights. You know, he's somebody that is not new in the business. So he have actually more experience that he have, even though he has 16 fights, he have more experience in boxing wise than Javanta.
Gotcha. Now, we got to ask you, it's kind of official, wasn't really announced yet, but both David Benavidez and Caleb Plant said, we're going to get it on probably about March.
It will be in March.
Do you have an exact date or you're not too sure?
Not yet. We're working out on the date, but definitely be in March, and it'll be a great, great fight.
Is it going to take place in Vegas?
It can be in Nevada or in California.
Nice.
Either place.
Which one do you prefer?
Well, my hometown is Las Vegas, so hopefully, but we're still working on the date and we're still working on the site.
Sampson, as far as Sebastian Fundora is concerned, I've been hearing some things that he may be going against Terrell Boucher next, possibly.
It's possible. It's possible. It's on the list. It's a great fight. He went the distance. I mean, it's a real good fight. Not the top of the line like we want to be, but we have no opposition yet. Nobody raised his hands that he want to fight Fundora.
Now we've seen Alicia Baumgartner come to the WBC conference and say that Tony wanted to fight with Fundora. So what happened with that?
I believe it's the girlfriend of Harrison. He looked like he changed his mind. I hate to say that because I have the most respect for all the fighters, but something happened that changed his mind. But he was ready to fight Zoom, but not Sebastian Fundora. So it's up to the people, to know what happened over there.
I remember when I spoke to you maybe about a month and a half ago, you said that it was more likely that David Benavidez would fight David Morrell as opposed to Caleb Plant. So what kind of changed?
Because Morrell is mandatory. That was the reason. The WBA Monday is mandatory, so he did this mandatory, and that it delayed the whole thing. He cannot fight every 2 months or 3 months.
So can we expect that in late 2023, early 2024?
We have a signed contract. So he will fight. And besides that,
a signed contract that Morrell is after.
Morrell will fight Benavidez regardless.
Immediately after.
Hopefully after, or if not, he will keep busy. But he's ready to fight because he won the fight. He's one of the fighters, Cuban fighters. He have no fear, and he makes his decision that is the fight that he won. Now, Canelo, it could happen in September, and if Canelo doesn't take the fight and Benavidez win, so it'll be unification because I'm pretty sure that the WBC, it will strip Canelo. That is well deserved to get stripped.
Put you on the spot. Who's a tougher fight? Caleb, Morrell.
Morrell, by far.
By far? You're not even thinking about it? No, not at all?
No. Both is very good fights, both of them. But remember, you have a boxer on plan, and you have a boxer and a puncher on Morrell. So both of them is a really a good fight for both. But this is my personal opinion, and we plan to have, I have no animosity with any fighter. And with plan, I say, no, always He have a beautiful wife, now a child. So I'm very happy for him. But my personal opinion, if you ask me which one is the tougher fight, I have the right to say which one.
You know, as far as David goes, he has a lot of options at 168 pounds. If it was up to you and everything went perfect, which fights would you want in a row?
Definitely Plan, because he'd be a great fight. It's not a walk in the park. Morel and Charlo, that another good friend of mine.
Hey Sam, so we did see Edwin De Los Santos last year get a great win over Rayo Valenzuela. I heard some rumblings about him and Isak Cruz, but it looked like Isak Cruz would go another way. What's next for De Los Santos?
Well, put it that way, it's on the table. And Isaac Cruz, he need to fight the best because he's capable to beat the best. And I believe Edwin De Los Santos is a really good fighter.
What were your initial thoughts when not Anthony Durrell, but when Caleb Plant got that ridiculous knockout over Anthony Durrell?
Look, I would not say that it was a lucky punch. It's a great fighter Plant. That is the reason he beat Uzcategui. I mean, he's a really good fighter. I don't underestimate him because it will be a good fight with Benavides and he'll be in pay-per-view. So many people will buy it. However, if you ask me between Morel and Plant, I say that the difference is the power.
So how, in your mind, how exactly does that fight play out between Plant and Benavides? How does it shape out?
Look, it'd be a great fight, but it'd be a knockout.
Early, late?
No, late. It's a great fight, a Plan. It will not be early. It'd be very close of what happened with Canelo.
Now David's been chasing Caleb Plant for about a couple of years now. Were you surprised that after the Durrell fight that Caleb Plant pursued David Benavides to try to make that fight?
Well, let me put it this way. There's no couple of years. It's much more than that.
Okay.
It was before the COVID that he had an issue in the gym and almost he went to hands, So it's very animosity. It's something personal. If it was not title in between, it'd be the same kind of thing. Normally, fighters say, I dislike this guy, and, before to build the fight, but it's not to build this fight. They hate each other. I mean, I never saw animosity like this one.
It's the obvious is Caleb Plant, not Anthony Durrell, but Caleb Plant, David Morrell, Canelo Alvarez, Jamal Charlo. Those are like the obvious guys. Well, that's what I was gonna say. How do you view a guy like Demetrius Andrade? Do you think he's a guy who can really challenge David, or do you kind of look at him and say, Benavides will take care of him easily?
No, Bobo Andrade. He want to fight everyone, but when they have a shot to fight now, the Benavides, he said, I need a tune-up. So that is my answer.
Well, he did just come off that shoulder injury, though.
Whatever. The opportunity, he had the opportunity to fight Benavides already, and he decided to go for the tune-up, which I agree with them in a way because he want to be 100%, and I imagine he will not be 100% this time. Who knows?
So are you saying you guys actually offered him a contract and just break the contract and then you got
No, definitely it was a talk, no contract. It was a talk and he decided to take an interim fight.
Gotcha.
Now he need to be on the line because the first one will be Canelo, Morel, and Charlo.
Gotcha.
So,
We gotta go home.
And just the last one, just to continue talking about Andrade, if you had to rank everybody, so that would be Caleb Plant, Morrell, Canelo, Charlo, and Andrade. List them from toughest fight for Benavides to his least toughest.
The toughest one probably be Canelo. That would be the toughest.
Morrell's too, okay.
Plant. Actually, they say it need to be an elimination bout between Plant and Charlo. Probably, I would say Morel, Charlo, Plant.
Gotcha. Are there enough talented fighters at 168 to make like a Super 6? Because it seems like that would be perfect.
I believe that Charlo is a guy that have no fear too. He would fight Benavides when the time he come. But in the end of the day, it's a sport, but it's a business too. Business-wise, it doesn't pay for him now. But a good pay-per-view, maybe by next year, it'll be really big between Charlo and Benavides.
Sampson, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, with all of the stuff that came out of the Michelle Rivera fight with Frank Martin, about him possibly passing out before the weigh-in and things of that nature, have you been in touch with Team Rivera and talked to him about what was going on?
Definitely. And by the way, the next fight for him will be in 138.
138. Okay.
Yeah, to be sure that he can make the 35. Whatever he was saying that he was in the hospital and all that, it was misinformation from the father.
Okay.
But he was not in the hospital before the fight. It was after the fight that he got the poison with one of his sponsors, that he given some kind of cookies that he never have it in, that it come out to be really poisonous.
Yes.
That did not happen, but definitely was not in the hospital before the fight, because if you go to the hospital, automatic. I was talking about you.
How you doing? You good?
Nothing personal. I say the truth.
Hey man, it's all good. It's all love. It's boxing business.
What I'm saying that if he was in the hospital before the fight, it would never ever be approved by the commissioner, especially Nevada. So that is he was a father that he loved so much his son that he said something to cover up, but it's not. He lost because it was not his night.
Yes, sir.
But he's coming back.
Appreciate it, Sampson.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, Sampson.